Hey, what's up you guys? Bloody Jacob here to bring you my weekly review.
Hey, what's up you guys? Bloody Jacob here, meeting my icon, Catherine Isabel here.
Across the streams of hopes and dreams where things are really not. Come along if you can. Come along if you dare.
Have a good one. Cheers, guys.
Side of your mind, but please realize you'll probably be surprised.
Hey, what's up you guys? Bloody Jacob here to bring you my review of Dead Hooker in a Trunk, which was the Soska Sisters' first film, which they wrote, directed, produced, and starred in. This is one I've been kicking myself for not doing a video on before. So I sat down and watched it last night, and I got some things to say about it. But yeah, I have my copy right here. This is actually going to be getting a Blu-ray release soon. If you go to Soska Sisters Facebook pages, you can find some more information on that. It's part of a certain horror box, a limited edition Blu-ray, which I'm going to be subscribing to just to get that. But yeah, I have the DVD copy right here, which I bought while I was in Chicago for the Flashback Horror Convention this past August. But yeah, I'll admit I had never watched this before, and I am big supporters of these two. So it doesn't really make sense, I know. I'm a fuck up. It is what it is. But I'm so glad I finally did. Because, like I said, this is their first film. It was like on a $2,500 budget. $2,500, however you want to say it. Give or take, I'm sure. They had produced it themselves. You have... as well as C.J. Wallace, who stars as the Bible thump goody two shoes in this movie. He does quite a few behind the scenes jobs too. So of course, a movie like this is kind of hard to critique in certain ways, just because they weren't really they didn't really have much to use in terms of just equipment and stuff like that. So sure, some of the camera work isn't the best. In ways it feels like it's a fan film, which it is, which is also a good thing, because despite it having a low much lower production quality than say some of the ladies future installments into their increasingly impressive filmography. This is very, very bare bones. But yet, somehow their passion still oozed through. And Dead Hooker in a Trunk is honestly a damn entertaining time. Despite the low budget they had, despite the limited resources, I really, really enjoyed Dead Hooker in a Trunk. And I think if it had a bigger budget, it probably would have been one of the best grindhouse movies of all time. And in ways, it still is. Honestly. And this is kind of like a grindhouse sort of horror, thrill, or action movie kind of thing. It has humor in it as well. It's over the top, but parts of it are actually a little bit serious. I honestly had a really nice time with this. Before I go further into it, I'm gonna talk about the plot or the synopsis, or read the back of it to you here, as would probably be less butchering involved with it if I didn't just try to explain it. But before I get into that as well, I just wanted to say just what titans of the industry the Soska Sisters have become. I love the Soska Sisters. They're really amazing people. I have them as friends on Facebook. They pretty much accept any actual fans of theirs on there. They're very welcoming with open arms to any people that are positive energy to the community and stuff like that. And of course, like I said, fans of theirs. They're just very good people. They're honestly some of the very best people I've seen with their fans ever. Maybe because they're just that good. you know, like you'll see Jen or Sylvia, you know, they'll post some inspiring stuff every day and actually take the time to talk back and forth with people and try and help them a little, or however they can. And besides that, they're some of the most passionate, passionate filmmakers I've ever seen. They really care about their craft. You know, they've been into this kind of thing since they were kids, and they built their own, they built their own mountain here, and it's only getting bigger. Honestly, I don't know if that makes any sense or not. I'm also going to do another video on American Mary at some point. I reviewed that a few years ago, but I want to watch it again on Blu-ray and get some updated thoughts on it, which is a brilliant film, starring my favorite actress, Katharine Isabelle, ironically. She's amazing as well. I hopefully do more projects together, by the way. And Soska Sisters are also working on Rabid right now, a remake of, another horror film, which should be pretty good. But yeah, anyway, Dead Hooker in a Trunk. I'll just read you the synopsis real quick on the back of this DVD as you stare at this awesome cover. 4 friends set out on an everyday errand and end up in a fight for their lives when they discover the body of a dead hooker in their trunk. Led by the sexy, impulsive badass, who's played by Sylvia, her distant twin sister, Geek, played by Jen, their Bible-thumping friend, Goody Two-Shoes, and chaotic rock star pal, Junkie, the group must put aside their differences to dispense of the body as they face off against persistent police, a sleazy motel manager, chainsaw-wielding triads, and a brutal serial killer. All the while, they are followed by the mysterious cowboy pimp who wants to claim the corpse for his own. Identical twin sisters, Jen, Sylvia, Soska, wrote, directed, and produced this explosive ride filled with gunfights, extreme violence, blood, guts, gore, and goats. So yeah, it's a pretty interesting story. It's sort of like a grindhouse version of The Hangover, in a way, you know what I mean? But I much prefer Dead Hooker in a Trunk, honestly. Like I said, despite their limited resources, like I said, people are going to just say this is a bad film just because, just because of what they had to put it together with. But I think if you're really looking at the movie and you know the Soskas, you can see this is a pretty good accomplishment. Because like I said, I had a great time with it. I'll be honest, my favorite character was Badass. Sylvia, you kind of stole my heart in this one. Although I did really like Jen. It's kind of a, Jen seems pretty cool too, so it's kind of different, to see her as, the geek and the more kind of reserved, type of the two in this movie. But arguably Geek almost gets the most development in the film, because she kind of has a transformation once her eye literally gets taken out. So she goes through a little bit of development too. But yeah, don't get me wrong, Badass goes through the ringer as well. And there's still some pretty cool, little fight scenes and, moments of action. I think they did a pretty, solid job with, like, the blood splatter effects when, Sylvia, shoots different people in the head in a certain sequence or scene. I think it's pretty good. And what I didn't expect was I also got a lot of laughs out of this movie as well. I don't want to butcher some of the jokes or the banter in this one, but it's just full of it, chock full of it. But what I also didn't expect was that there's some genuine, a couple of genuine moments here and there between the characters that they tried to pull off, and I think it actually kind of worked, especially at the, the fire scene here. There's one where you feel like they're actually friends and they're actually sort of connecting, and it feels really genuine. And it made me kind of want to see the Soskas actually act in other movies too. I mean, they had a little appearance in, American Mary and, some other stuff as corpses and, Dead Rising and stuff like that. But, I think it'd be cool if they did a follow-up to this or just, actually acted in another one of their own movies. Because I think Sylvia did a really nice job, and so did, Jen, of course. I definitely enjoyed watching them, in front of the camera. But their talent is hell behind it, so whichever way they want to go, I guess. But I really liked it. Like I said, it's hard for me to critique, but I was trying to think of stuff as I work all day. I was trying to think of things to, pick at or something, but just knowing the effort that went into this and, the struggle they had to get this put out there, but they earned the following they got from this, and that led into American Mary, See No Evil 2, Vendetta, everything else like that. It's just really well earned, and Dead Hooker in a Trunk is one of my favorite movies I've watched in a while, actually, which is why I'm giving it an A minus, which I know some would think is kind of high, but I honestly liked it that much, and that's what my ratings are about. It's not just critically looking at films, which I still do, but it's also a combination of that as well as just how much I enjoy it, and honestly, enjoyment should be the first thing about any movie. And then of course making you think and things of that nature. But it had some things that they tried to put into it as well, which I appreciated. Is it the best movie ever? No, I guess not, but I think you'd really be missing out if you don't check this one out with an open mind. And if you really know the Soskas, you can appreciate a lot of things about it, I think. If you guys have watched Dead Hooker in a Trunk, let me know what you think. If you haven't by now, like me, what the fuck have you been doing with your life? So let me know what you guys thought. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, subscribe. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.